Hey everyone, and welcome to RezoCast episode 157. This is Lego, and 158? Is it 158?
It is 158.
Episode 158. This is Lego, and I've got with me Hove, Triton, Wilson, and our special guest from the Destiny community. We've got Rhythm. Dude, thanks so much for joining us, man. Glad you're here.
Absolutely no problem at all. Happy to be here, man.
Yeah, well, I am excited to talk some PvP stuff with you later. we were just talking before the show about how we miss Trials just a little bit, but just a little bit. But this week for me, this week for the Destiny community, a lot went on. There was a big event that happened with somebody reaching light level 1000, light level 999, power level actually, as Anon would say, because he was all up in arms about the terminology.
Because he's actually right.
Because he's right, yeah. But yeah, so someone hit 999, went in. We'll get into that later, but some big stuff happened with the community. For me personally, I soloed Pit of Heresy, which was my first experience with it. Like, I didn't go in knowing anything, and to just be able to go in solo and get over the course of several nights, like, beat it without knowing anything going in solo was just like one of the best experiences I've ever had in Destiny, just like challenging myself. And now I'm like hyped to try more stuff. So I love the dungeon. That was a really cool part of my week. Hove, how's your week been, man?
Aren't you, didn't you forget some stuff before we get to this?
I mean, maybe, but we can do it later. Or you can do it now.
I don't want to do it. I'm not the boss.
Okay.
It was pretty good. Non-Destiny, there's something I actually just saw like 10 minutes before the podcast that I thought was awesome. Apparently, it was a news clip from, I think it was Tampa. There was a guy dressed, well, first of all, they were on the street. I guess it was Halloween or Halloween weekend. There was, Halloween parties. And this guy got his bike stolen, and the dude rode around the corner with it. And a bystander who just happened to see and hear the whole thing was dressed as like the main front character from PUBG with a level 3 helmet and a frying pan. And he fucking knocked this dude off the bike with a frying pan. And then they interviewed him, like, standing there, like, yeah, I just hit him with my frying pan. He's got, like, a shirt, a tie, and a helmet. It was the best thing I've ever seen.
No way.
He should have pulled out a Red Bull and chugged it right after that and been like, I gotta go.
So that was
he's just like you, hitting people with frying pans in PUBG. That's great.
I may have...
Surprised he didn't hit
things.
Surprised he didn't hit his friend with the frying pan like you do.
I shot Lego in the head last night.
You did.
Totally shocked.
I would have been upset if I wasn't laughing. I'm sure I sounded upset, but I was laughing internally because I didn't know why Hove shot me, and Hove was really annoyed at me, and I was just trying to drink an energy drink, but it wouldn't let me.
His guy kept like freaking out, throwing his guns around. I was like, if you fucking do that one more time, I'm gonna shoot you in the head. And he stopped for a second and then started doing it again, and I shot him.
Well, I didn't realize that, because this is something that I do to annoy Hove anyway, and that's what kind of started this, is sometimes I'm sitting in the back of a vehicle and I'm just switching my weapons continually, and you can hear it and you can see it, and I just keep doing it. And then Hove was sitting right next to me, though, and I was just trying to drink an energy drink. I was in my inventory, and I couldn't even see what I was doing. He was like, if you don't stop that right now, I didn't even know he was talking to me. I was like...
Yeah, you don't mess.
I was like, who's he talking to? And all of a sudden he's like, okay, and then I'm dead. And I was like, what happened? Why did you shoot me?
That's like you got to learn. You don't mess with the thunder from down under. But
you don't mess with Rey Mysterio either. That's another.
But no, pretty good. I played some Destiny 3v3 survival with Lego, and it was probably the least fun I've ever had in Destiny PvP ever.
Okay.
Wow.
I need to dig into this because I don't understand what, like, I wasn't on Hove's level, and maybe I was hyped because I am just hyped sometimes, but we had lost 2 games in a row, and like first 2 comp games, we've been trying to get Hove to 5,500, and we've been playing pretty good every time we play, but we lost our first 2 games, and I was just like, he was like, I'm done. I think I'm done. And I didn't realize in his mind, he meant like, I'm just not having fun. Like, I don't want to play. I thought he was just more like, I lost 2 games, I don't want to keep losing kind of mindset. And so I was like, no, let's try one more. Let's do it. And then we went on a 5 streak, and I was like, this is great. And then we lost one, and he's like, I said I was done, like, 5 games ago. And I was like, what? Like, I didn't realize he was on a completely other level than me.
It was dumb. That's my expert analysis.
But I want to know why. Why? I still don't know. Like, what was so bad about it for you?
Do you really want me to tell you? Because you're gonna be mad at me.
No, I want to know.
Fusion rifles.
No. The biggest thing
that
was
was my first guess.
switching back and fucking playing on PS4 made me want to throw up.
Oh yeah, dude, it's tough,
Oh,
dude.
my
It's really
God.
tough, man. Like the only way that I can, like, do anything Destiny PS4 related is watching a stream. For some reason, it doesn't bother me when I'm watching a stream.
Everything
But
just
if
feels real jerky to me, and I can't like sniping is impossible for me when I move back to PS4. Because everything just feels
That's
like
not true. Because I've seen last time we played before that, when you'd switch back and forth, you were hitting all your shots. I get it that it takes time to adjust, but
was I?
you were. You were even saying, "I'm on fire. This is the best I've ever sniped." You said that. You said, "This is the best I have ever sniped."
The little roller coaster of emotions this session was.
I'm sensitive.
Man. Yeah, clearly.
No, that wasn't the same session though. That was the
wasn't this
last time
That
we
was
played.
last time, yeah, but it was still
Okay.
PS4.
Well, what I meant was this is the best I've sniped on PS4 since coming back from PC today.
Right. Yeah. Sure.
It is rough, man. But like I said, it's easier to watch than to play, in my opinion.
Yeah, like I know you think I just like to fuck with you about it, and I do, but it's like I never used to care, even when I switched back and forth a little bit. But now that I play pretty much everything else on PC, it is super noticeable for at least the first like hour. You kind of get used to it, but when you first switch back, it's hard, man.
Yeah. No,
Not
I
in a good
believe
way.
you.
I can't even use a controller the same way. I feel like I got freaking peanut butter meltway thumbs. Like they're just,
Peanut butter
it's
melt
just
away.
melt away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a
It
description.
just everything just feels real slow, clunky. I feel like I'm using a controller for the first time. Like I've become pretty.
It feels like you spilled
MNK.
chicken pot pie all over your controller, right?
I mean, that's an issue. That's
Or
an
like
issue, man.
flaming Dr. Pepper all
So-
Some flapjacks.
Oh, that syrup will get you every time.
Oh my god,
Dude, yeah, that reminds me of like when I was a kid getting syrup on controllers and stuff, dude. It was bad. Like,
Does anybody
Hope
here?
has a thing against that. He won't eat and play games.
That's the. I'm not the only one. I'm pretty sure you ended up being the only one that was like, I don't care if my shit's greasy and
no,
covered
dude,
in
I'm
shit.
a fucking
No,
slob. Are you kidding
I
me, dude?
care, but I just
a stoner.
It's
I'm
not
always
gonna
eating.
prevent me from eating that Cheez-It. I'm still gonna eat it.
I mean, like a Cheez-It, but I'm not gonna sit there and eat food because then my controller's all greasy, and the next time I play, my controller gets me greasy, and then I feel like a hobo.
Rhythm,
just
Rhythm.
that.
What about you? Do you do the eating like playing? Can you do that, or is it
Eating
bother
and
you?
playing at the same
Yeah.
time. Bro, if I have food next to me when I'm playing, I will like any second I possibly have to take
Well,
a bite,
see,
I will.
that's
But,
my
like,
problem.
when I'm dead,
I
I'm
will
eating
eat it if it's there. I just don't bring
yeah,
it.
exactly. I
Dude,
try.
I'll
I try
grub.
not to.
Also, to be
I'll
fair,
grub
it's
and
not.
eat. I don't care about
I try
my
to take a break.
peripherals.
It's not
Yeah.
fair to ask somebody who streams a lot because, like, if I streamed a lot, I'd have to eat. So you're
kinda
painting
have
him
to
into
eat.
a corner there. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was an
I-
unfair
take a
question.
break. I'll say like I have gameplays saved to my PlayStation, so I'll just play one of those and eat for like 10 minutes. That's what I usually do.
Nothing
smart,
though.
dude.
Last thing I have to say, nothing still tops Mana when we were playing in that pod clash, and we were playing like it might even have been. Was it Crucible Radio that game when he was on the stream eating pizza while we're playing in a tournament?
That's pretty funny, man.
I like how they called him out and they're like, and there's Mana enjoying a slice of pizza.
Like in between rounds.
I don't even think it was in between rounds. I think it was like mid game. Like
Probably
He's like
was.
he being rezzed, yeah.
yeah, he
Oh,
would take
man.
a bite of pizza, dude. That was
Well,
great.
I want to go back to one thing because I thought what Hove was going to be upset about was something to do with PvP because we've gone back and forth on
It
this
was.
podcast a lot
It was
about how
PvP.
good, at least because there's a lot of people right now that are talking about in Rhythm. I'm curious how you feel about it too. We'll get to it in a second. But like the state of the game right now, a lot of people are getting really annoyed with a lot of things. Which there are some things that are super
Mhm.
strong right now, but overall. Like I really love where it's at, and Hove, we've talked about how we both really like where it's at right now, and so I thought that something was like, you were getting tilted from something.
To
in
a
the
point,
game.
part of it was it looked like shit. I was playing like shit. And yeah, while I do think the majority of the things are really like everything's in a good spot, the few
Mhm.
outliers there are really fucking annoying.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
and those drove me nuts.
Rhythm, since you're, we haven't had you on in a while, and I was curious for you, what you think about the state of the game right now and like PvP and everything like that.
I have a lot of fun playing it. I think it's pretty good. There's definitely some issues that are pretty noticeable. I think one of them is the artifact mods applying to PvP, like that arc battery for hunters.
Yeah.
One of the issues on console is that hunters have always been really strong just because of the way they can move, because of the low FOV on the console.
Mhm.
Their dodge and double jump really helps. So now they have, every time they dodge, they get a shield now if you're an arc. So you can play arc staff with arc battery, and every time you dodge, you get a shield. So it makes hunters even stronger, which I don't like. Because it was already really strong.
The thunder coil is pretty annoying too for Titans. Like,
see
the one punch man.
Yeah, the one punch.
Don't even fucking try to defend it, Lego. It's stupid.
I don't play arc.
Wow.
Here's what I was gonna say, Wilson, is that I see the main complaints I see is thunder coil and one-eyed mask, and reclusive mountaintop. Those are all the main things.
Those have still. It's been
go
a
ahead,
while.
go ahead, Rhythm.
Those have been complaints for a while now, and they haven't even really been talked about too much.
Yeah. For me, I always hear about those particular weapons, but on console and on my comp experience, my elimination experience has been just what you said with the hunters and their dodge ability. Because for me, I'm running sniper or fusion most of the time, and it's like I can headshot a one-eyed mask guy in an overshield and it still kills him. That's not like I run a high impact sniper. It's not a big deal for me. Or recluse, they still have to get a kill first. Mountaintop isn't as good on console as it is on PC.
On console, all the things you mentioned aren't really that great on console. One-eyed mask is still really good for sure, but I mean, mountaintop and recluse are really not PvP weapons on console too much. Those are just PvE.
Yeah, but I really resonate with what you said about the hunters, because that's the one thing that, like, and Wilson, you were on it, man, because
I was doing it day one, dude.
Day one, I know you were doing it, and I was like, oh, that's
still doing it.
Now that I'm facing it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so annoying, because especially with a fusion rifle, it's a great counter to an air intel user because they'll charge, and if you hear that charge, and even if you hear the bolt fire, if one of the two bolts could hit you and you dodge and the rest don't affect you because you got your overshield, you're invincible.
Yeah, I've seen so many hunters survive when they
tanked
would have
supers.
Died. Yeah,
I've tanked Dawn Blades, Golden Gun shots, smashes
Dawn Blades,
with it. If
Dawn
you time
Blades,
it right,
I play
dude.
Dawn Blades, so
fucking amazing, dude. I love it. This is our time. Our time to shine. We've been under that one-eyed umbrella for too long. It's time to rise up, hunters. Rock arc battery. Piss everyone off.
That's the difference for me too. At high level, I get it for quick play for sure. Thunder Coil especially, I get it for quick play. But for like high level comp, and this is where I was curious for you, Rhythm. Like, to me, hunters have been dominant with Shotguns Not Forgotten the entire time because of the FOV thing you talked about. And so
exactly.
I don't really feel a difference. They're just stronger.
Yeah, they're just stronger now because they can get the instant shield. There's still the top teams that play comp are pretty much 3 hunters, or they'll have like an outlying warlock or titan, but it's usually 3 hunters, shotgun, and F.
So are you I know we got other stuff to talk about too, but real quick, just for reference for what we're talking about and for people who don't know you, are you console or PC primarily?
Console. I don't even have cross save set up yet.
Nice.
Just play on PS4.
Cool.
I was always that person all the way up until what the hell is this called? Shadowkeep. That was still like
the game
Too Dark, Too Below. That's right. I was still always that person. Like, PS4 is fine. Like, I like it. I won't switch. And I can't, dude.
You can't go back now.
I don't like. I hate to be that person that I kept arguing with for the last 2 years. But like, it really is a big difference when she used to be.
Sam tried going back, dude, and even she was like, "I played one game," and I was like, "Nope," and went back to PC. She was trying to get her 5500, and she's like, "Maybe I'll have a better chance on console." And she went back, and she was like, "Nope, no thanks." And on, I think it was Monday, I just logged into her account. No arc battery. 38 to 55, only 1 loss. So we got her to.
When are you coming over?
Oh, nice.
And no arc battery because she didn't have it unlocked on her artifact yet. So that's the only reason why I wasn't rocking it.
Okay.
Listen, I like it. With that being said, to everyone listening, I do realize that it's an issue and that it's broken. But you know what? I'm gonna use whatever and don't apologize.
Do it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. It was a fun week though, man.
Scumbag.
Like, dude, you got the absolutely, man. If you're not scumbagging in the Crucible, are you really even out there playing?
Are
Like,
you playing Crucible?
Yeah, let's be real. Like, if you're not finding little hidey spots to hit snipes and shit and new ways to break the game, like, yeah, it's good stuff, man. But like, dude, it was a crazy week, man. I got all my Iron Banner bounties done. So like the +2 like loot drops are really good. I got my first piece of 955 loot today, which was good. Like,
wait, you did it? Did you do it today, like after the reset?
well, yeah, like I did my bounties throughout the week and saved them, but like I'm getting some super high level loot, which I'm enjoying. I only have like a couple of eggs and a couple pieces of bones left to get for Curse Breaker, which are coming up, I think, next week's Ascendant Challenge. So I'm gonna have another title done. Dude, and I have been finally sitting down with mouse and keyboard and learning sniping, and I've been having so much fun and like a good amount of success with it too, man. The Apostate, that new sniper that's been dropping,
dude,
it's very friendly to pick up and use. So like I was a little disappointed. I wanted snapshot moving target, but I got quick draw moving target on mine. And I put an enhanced sniper rifle targeting mod on my helmet, and that actually increases your aim down sight speed. And then I got a sprint grip on it. So like, dude, it's basically a snapshot quick draw moving target sniper rifle right now, like with all the mods and stuff on it. So it's been fun, man. Just been playing Iron Banner, sniping, getting back to the D1 basics, and yeah, man. Looking forward to doing some raids this weekend. Try to fill out the rest of those low light level loot spots.
Nice, dude.
Yeah,
I got the Apostate sniper as well. Mine was I did it. I think it was my first or second drop or something like that. But I got the snapshot firmly planted one with like flared magwell and stuff, so it just reloads like crazy, you know. So I really like the way it feels. It feels really snappy.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's a good gun.
Yeah, Triton, what about you, man? How's your week?
Well, I mean, Destiny week.
Shit,
so I
here
mean,
we
we've
go.
had a lot of people have the Destiny week, so we'll just skip right past that. So the actual
The thing that podcast is about, we're gonna skip that.
Well,
part.
we've had a lot of good Destiny dialogue so far. So there have been 3 restaurants that I've wanted to do in our area. So Hove and I live around each other, so I've definitely vented to Hove already. So they're tearing down like one of the last 2 freestanding Pizza Huts, like where you could actually sit down. They're tearing down like one of them by us, but that's okay because they moved the Pizza Hut Express like 2 miles closer to my house. So I called them today saying like, "Oh, do you deliver here?" They don't. So that's like
also because Pizza Hut sucks. Who cares?
Okay, I have like a gazillion points there. So, anyways, that was the third disappointment. Also, they built a Domino's, which I didn't have one anywhere close to me. And you guys know how much I love Domino's.
Yeah.
Actually, my wife unearthed that Domino's hat that Hove got for me like 4 years ago. But they just claim they're not open. So I literally took a picture of them being open, called them when I got home, like, we're open on Tuesday. I'm like, no, I was there. You were open. Now you're not, and then you don't deliver either. So that was number 2. But the number 1 was really that Rowley's Cheeseburgers came back to Pittsburgh, and it's in an area that you really don't want to go to. Like, there's no reason to go to this area.
I used to work there. Not Rowley's, just that town.
Just that town. So I went all the way over there on the other side of town to get this cheese. It sucked. I was so mad.
Oh.
It was so 3 real big misses. And okay, and so here's a 4th one. So like Marco's Pizza is always on TV during sporting events, and I'm like, we don't have one of those or whatever. So a couple months ago, I randomly tweeted out like, hey, can't wait for Marco's to announce that they're coming to Pittsburgh, right? 4 months later, Marco's Pizza's Twitter account likes it. So it shows up in my feed, and it looks like it's from them that they're coming to Pittsburgh. I was so happy. Then opened up Twitter, realized they were just liking what I wrote, and I was pissed. Like, I unfollowed them. I don't care if they...
No, you unfollowed them?
I don't
Oh,
care if they
shit.
now. So they're done. They're done.
Seriously.
Destiny related, I almost played with Wilson like a week ago, but our timing just didn't really work out. And
Dang.
yeah, there's the Destiny.
I got.
So wait, what?
On the down low, I got roped into going to the grocery store.
That's cool. No, yeah, I mean, we did talk though. Wilson was kind of nice. We did text each other a little bit, so that was cool. But
You know me pretty well. You can about imagine me in a grocery store it's gonna take me some time to get through.
Dude, me too,
Right?
man.
Yeah, and I had
Little paranoid, a little hungry. You know?
What I'm curious as to what you got at rallies.
first of all, like Rowley's Burger should be the first thing on there, not the Buford, which is also like one of those big bureaus that you could make at IKEA. Is the Buford? So that's ridiculous. You got to rename your sandwich.
What the fuck are you talking about? Is that
That's
one
the
of
name of?
Oh,
It's named
Yeah, that's
after
like the fir- that's like
an
their number
IKEA
one, the
piece of
Buford.
furniture. Yeah, I know what you're
Yeah,
talking
and,
about.
like they have all those funky names. Well, one of them is the Buford, and I have that. And the problem is they named their first sandwich after that too, so I was already disgusted.
okay, but what did you get?
Well, that's
Still
what I
bad.
got, dude.
Oh.
That burger's called, like,
That's
the
what you
Buford.
got. Oh my gosh,
That's what
you're
it's called.
disappointed
Well,
before you even got it.
It's their number one thing. Like you're not gonna not get it.
I'm so jealous. You guys have so many food options where you're from, dude. We have like, even if we go to like the actual city, dude, we still have only like 7 options. Like,
Well,
it's-
I agree, Wilson, but one of the options refused to deliver to my house. The other one claims they're not open, and the third one sucked. So,
And
like,
we still don't have Shake Shack, so it doesn't really fucking
Yes.
matter what else we have.
Yeah, nothing
Very
matters
true.
with that. So, well, we've kept our guest Rhythm waiting long enough talking about our weeks. Rhythm, how was your week, man?
My week was great, man. Started every morning playing some basketball outside.
nice.
Nice.
Did a lot of comp help, double comp help to legend
Mm.
because it's possible now.
Yeah.
That used to be completely impossible.
yeah, I was
Wait,
watching you the other day doing some double helps, and it was
Mhm.
pretty successful, man.
Pretty
And not
successful,
only that,
yeah,
but
exactly, yeah.
you were having fun doing it. You
Dang.
chatting
It's
with
fun,
people
yeah.
and-
Get to like teach a little bit about how the maps work, how the maps flow, how to play them, and it's fun seeing people get their rank up and reach their goals. You know, help people reach their goals. Some of the people have been working towards that legend for like months or
Yeah.
seasons and seasons, and it's cool helping them. I like it.
So, when you do double help, you're talking double help to legend.
Yep,
Dang,
exactly.
man.
Yeah. From 3,500 plus to 55.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the matchmaking changes for that grind? Do you feel like it's nice because you can do stuff like this, like it's a little more chill, or do you think it
For
should be
me,
harder?
it's nice. Yeah. Some people don't like it because they liked the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
But all of those people were people who completed the challenge, so they're a little biased. They
Mm-hmm.
want that they want it to be tougher for other people so that they can feel that sense of pride from the accomplishment.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I think it's a lot more accessible now, and a lot more people have been playing it and talking about it, hyping it up, hyping each other up. I think it's good for the game the way it's set up now.
Yeah, I'm totally with you, and that's kind of the feedback that I've like analyzed from people who don't normally play comp or were scared to go to legend, or people who have tried going legend the past few seasons and just couldn't do it, couldn't get the crew
Mhm.
together, couldn't get any help, and finally they're either able to solo it or they feel comfortable, like their friends feel comfortable playing with them that are at 5,500 because the
Mhm.
matchmaking isn't so like, oh, you're at 5,500, well, y'all are gonna face streamers the entire time.
Exactly.
or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's tough. It used to be so tough.
Mhm.
Like you knew you knew what teams were on because those were the teams you were
Yup.
playing against.
Yup.
Everybody
Check the
getting
friends
together.
list,
Yeah.
make you in. No, they're in a game. Wait, they're not in a game yet. Wait.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Everyone would get together and come out with like a regional time schedule. Like,
Uh-huh.
can't be on when so and so's on because we're in the same time zone, gonna run into each other. And
Yep.
it was like, it was bad because like at the end of the day, both sides are trying to help people. So like
Mhm.
nobody's bowing out. You know what I mean? Like you can't
Yeah,
bow
definitely.
out and hurt the people that you're like trying to help. What like my favorite change is that when you're on a 5 streak and you lose a game, you don't lose that entire 5
I love
streak,
that.
dude.
That's really
Mhm.
good. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
that is huge
Good change.
for like not only obviously making it a little easier to keep progressing, but like for morale's sake, dude.
Yep.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, to like be at that
Used to be
5,500. Yeah, like Rhythm, you've seen it happen, dude.
Oh,
like,
you have no
everyone's seen
idea,
it.
man. How? Because I did so many NF helps. I helped 118 people get not
Yup.
forgotten back
Oh.
before they did these changes. So
Yup.
when it was tough,
Yeah.
and so many people would be 1 win away. And if you lost that game 1 win away, it was a 3-win streak. You needed a 3-win streak to get NF, guaranteed no matter what. Is how it was set up. You needed a 3-win streak. So we would go 2 wins, 1 loss, 2 wins, 1 loss, and sometimes it would.
Gosh.
We went from like somebody who was 5,200 plus. One time it took them like 6 hours to get to legend from those 200 points. It was insane.
It was
Man.
rough, dude.
It's a lot better now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy because
morale.
it's not like that is the average person. Like if you and like Joey are playing together or something, and it's like you've got a crew, you know, and it's still that difficult to get that person. That's just how hard it was.
Exactly. Yeah, that's how hard it was. You had to beat the best people who were online, pretty much. The best teams that were on, you had to play against them. There was no avoiding it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people
Yeah.
that are playing with you guys are
They were
like
good
good
players.
enough to hang at that
Right.
level. They just
Yeah,
needed.
They had to be. We
needed
the way we
to-
used to do it. Or you can
Oh, I was just
go,
gonna say
sorry.
they needed 2 dedicated people to help them. That's all, you know.
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah.
Most of them just needed a team, really.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What were you gonna say? The way you used to do what?
The way we used to do it, we pulled in the highest ranked player that we could in chat. So what that guaranteed for us was that they had the experience and knew how to communicate while playing. Because
Right.
you couldn't hit a high rank without communicating well.
Right.
Because
Yeah,
you
totally.
couldn't get enough Forgotten without communicating before. It was so difficult.
Mhm.
Well, that's one of the things that I love about watching you stream any help stuff is your communication. We talked about it a little bit when we had Joey on, and he talked about like, man, we need the dream team, like we need both of us on, but we really wanted to showcase y'all individually, like
Uh-huh.
on the cast to get to know each of y'all. But that is one thing, and he actually.
But we
highlighted-
also plan on having a dual
Oh,
dual
Yeah,
episode
definitely.
too.
Totally down. For sure.
But that said though, like he even complimented you like for your call outs, how chill you're able to take the game, and just like how easy that makes it to play comp and not get tilted, you know, not and push through, but yet still communicate, being that kind of chill personality of well, this thing's happening, but you still got to communicate. You just highlighted how
Exactly,
important that is.
yeah.
So that's just an amazing thing to pull off, to stay chill while doing that.
Yep, staying relaxed is key in those stressful situations because it's the only way you're gonna win a game. If you're in a tough situation and everyone's heart's racing and freaking out, and you're gonna make some mistakes, you know.
Yeah, I
So
think
you
that's
make
like
less mistakes if you're just relaxed, keeping everybody calm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's one of your biggest assets next to your gun skill and like map knowledge and like flow predictability, like the flow of the battle, is to stay calm and like keep the comms clear. Because like I'll do it, dude. I'll get tilted and I'll be like the freaking one-eyed mask instead of saying, "Hey, he's in the center on heavy with a shotgun."
Except, yeah, that took a long time to like beat that out of
Yeah.
myself instead of complaining. So
Yeah.
like the important call out isn't what happened to you. The important call out is what that person is doing now. Like,
Mhm.
Yep.
Half shield, like instead of oh, I did this, he could just be like, he's half shield right here, and maybe after you can be like, oh, this happened, and but the
Yeah.
important thing needs to get out first.
Yeah, it's huge to stay calm and like Joey's kind of like the hype guy and you were the guy that would like bring it back around. Like another thing too, like I noticed that you do is even if you're down on in survival like 1 or 2 points, like the positivity is huge. Like come on guys, we can come back and
We
do
never,
this. And
we
you
never
do
give
it
up
all the time.
all
like
the
dude,
time.
comebacks
That's something
happen.
I like live by is like
Yep.
the comeback. You have to keep going until it's over because a lot of people don't do that. So when they have a big lead,
Yeah.
everyone lets up a little bit. So when we like go even harder when we're down like that, you catch them off guard.
Absolutely
Come back.
momentum.
Which makes me think that as much as I was really unhappy last time we played, I do remember that we played a game right at the beginning and Lego said, oh, maybe this wasn't such a good idea because we lost the first 2 rounds. And I was like, Lego,
Right.
we just started. It'll be fine. And then we
Yeah,
shit on like the
exactly.
next 3 teams. And then I hated myself again. But
No, you bring up a great point too, because I do feel like looking back on my own past accomplishments, whenever I made it to Unbroken, I will never forget the last game we were playing a really good team, and we were down by like 30. We were down like 40 points. It was a ridiculous.
you're talking
amount.
past seasons.
Mhm.
Past season, not this season. Yeah, it was just Clash or something or Control, and we managed to. We just kept being like, we can do this, guys. Come on! And then at one point there was something like some power shift happened. With
Something
supers
happens
with
exactly,
heavy.
dude. When
Yeah,
you
and
when you
one
don't give up,
guy.
that happens.
Exactly, and one guy is like, I think we can do this, and that you feel the energy start
Yeah,
building,
dude.
and that was
I live for
my game
that. I
from
love
Broken
that.
was that comeback. It was crazy.
That's the best, man.
it's
That's
a
the
contagious
best feeling.
feeling.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
very
such a good feeling.
yeah, it's very contagious. Like you see other people like the momentum swinging into your favor and stuff. And dude, hope, man, you know it's huge.
Yep.
Like and it's
When you
one
know
game,
that
so, like,
they think they have it, or like they almost
Right.
know that they have it, and then you can feel like them kind of being like, "Oh, okay,
They're
that feeling's
slipping.
good." Yep.
Well, that was like that game we had the other day, that same day, Lego, when a team was about to go up either 2-0 or 2-1 on us. Do you remember this? And it came down to you were in a 1v3, and one of the dudes, the entire time, he left it a 2v1, and he just teabagged me for like 2 minutes.
Right.
Just kept teabagging. Like I was like,
a 1v5. It was a 1v5.
Oh, yeah,
it was survival, and I killed. I think I ended up losing, but it
You
was
did,
down to
but-
the last person. Like it was like
he never
I
stopped
got-
teabagging me until it was down to
No.
like. So we came back and we shit on them, and then I
Yeah, the
messaged
next
him,
two
and he
games.
didn't answer me.
Nice.
But I was like, where are they? I was like, this probably wasn't the best call out, but I was like, I don't know. I'm just watching this guy. He's teabagging me, still teabagging me. Yep, he hasn't stopped. They're all over
He's
there,
got
but he's
info.
still teabagging me for like literally the entire time.
Oh,
I was
no.
like, what are you doing? What did I do to you? Who hurt you?
That was great. It was funny too because it was like round 2.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I mean.
ooh, the early bag. Ooh,
I know. Mistake.
Yeah.
It was like legit, real bags, some hard bags, deep
Hope would know.
bags.
deep bags.
Well, Rhythm, we've been talking a little bit about obviously your in-game skill and some of the things that you've been able to do while playing the game, which has been tremendous. But I've been pretty impressed with a lot of your acute responses on just the state of things in PvP in general throughout the game. Whether it was your comment about the arc battery and kind of the not applying that the artifacts, or whether it was the field of view, or even kind of the structure of how it used to be to get to reach legend. So if you were to take all of those things maybe and kind of define them as, well, maybe over the history of Destiny, the structure of some of these things have kind of been a hurdle, or maybe it's been maybe not thoroughly testing everything, which I'm not sure if that's fair or not.
Mhm.
But you can kind of categorize one thing and say, this is something that I would genuinely think that if they, improved upon, or, I would like to see improved upon to make the state of PvP in general better. What would that be, and how would you probably implement that?
Something that's really important with PvP is communication with the top players in the game. That's something I'll always say, and I think they've been doing a better job of that the last couple years, for sure. And if they keep doing that, it'll get better and better. Because I remember the game started out really good for PvP, almost like randomly. I don't know if it was intentional, but that first year of D1, the comp scene in Destiny was really strong, and had this bond that was like nothing like Destiny's ever had since.
Yeah.
And they didn't really communicate with that community at all. They pretty much, they didn't get into touch with them enough, and the game, they nerfed everything they liked over and over and over for years and years and years, and then D2 came out, and that's why it came out like that,
Yeah.
because the top players knew what they liked. They liked the fast-paced gameplay with the fast kill times, and where you could counter everyone, possibly, like had a possible counter. And I think it took them just like driving their PvP into the ground to be like, okay, you guys know what you liked about the game, talk to us,
Mhm.
And I think all the good changes they've made the last year or two have been, I would say, I would give a big portion of the credit to the PvP players in the community that reached out to them with the summits.
Mhm.
I think the summits were good. I think if they double down on that, it'll be even better.
Yeah. Dude, I can attest to that just personally, even my enjoyment of the game. Like I've liked playing Destiny throughout the entirety, because we've all talked about it on the show before. Like it just feels like all the gun and aiming, everything.
The
just
gunplay's
feels great.
always been
The
good.
gunplay's just
Destiny.
always
Yeah,
been
it's always
phenomenal.
been good. Yeah.
But my enjoyment of the game increased so much after those summits when Forsaken came out, and they introduced special weapons back, and a play where you could have like special weapons in both slots, or like you just starting even with 2 like green bricks for whatever ammo like you decide to use. Like that was like better, like so that alone like has made D2 better than like D1 year 3 for me, because you play
Yep.
elimination, whatever,
agree,
you're
sure.
just using primary weapons that you have limited resources to fight that 1v3. And so when they gave you, like you were saying, like just more opportunities to do that, it like
Mhm.
changed the game fundamentally for me and made it so much more fun. So I definitely like appreciate that communication for sure.
Mm-hmm. I think communication leads to small quality of life updates. I think if you don't communicate with your community, there's like tons of just little quality of life things that just bother you so much that they won't get communicated because they're just such tiny things that won't get prioritized. But those are the things that should be prioritized, you know?
Yeah.
Those
Like
all those
deleting
tiny little updates.
deleting an engram and it won't let you, and you keep hitting delete and the bar just resets every time.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Applying a shader, that's what it was. It wasn't. It was.
Oh,
you kept
that
trying
was
to
so
apply
bad.
something, and it
Yeah.
would just keep resetting.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that one. Oh man.
It was super annoying.
Well, we do want to take some time to dive into the kind of player that you are, Rhythm. Before I do that, real quick, I wanted to give a shout out. As Hope mentioned at the beginning of this podcast, I was forgetting something, so I want to shout it out real quick before we move on. And that is that RezoCast does have a Discord for all you listeners. If you're new to the podcast, we did start a Discord to start being able to communicate and talk about Destiny. If you don't have a place to hang out and talk, it is in the link in the description. We just open it up to just hang out, talk about everything going on, like what happened this week. We had our resident lore guy talking about everything going on with Savathun, and I was asking a bunch of questions because I was confused. So yeah, Discord's a great place to hang out. Be sure to check that out. It's on every tweet, in every description. Also, real quick, the podcast is sponsored by Blue Microphones and Headphones, so be sure to go to bluemic.com if you are looking for a new microphone yourself. But with all that out of the way, Rhythm. Well, go ahead, Hope.
I would just say that isn't what I was talking about before.
Oh, really? What?
But to add on, also, don't forget you can use code RezoCast at bluemic.com for 20% off. But no, you and I talked about, you kept wanting to start the podcast with saying, hey, this is this is what we do here. So I was just trying to follow your wishes.
I was trying to be professional, and I was trying to just
ignore me.
Ignore Hove, basically. It's not that I'm not trying to be unprofessional. I'm just, trying to ignore Hove. Mm-hmm. Sometimes that makes me professional. Sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. But Rhythm, we do want to get to know you a little bit more, like maybe even a deeper dive into you as a player. Like, how did you end up at Destiny? Were you previously playing shooter games, or were you doing other stuff? What is your background in gaming?
My gaming background started my whole life. I've been gaming since my first memories playing Duck Hunt on the NES.
Yeah, man.
Super Nintendo. I started streaming a little bit before. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I started streaming a couple months before D1 came out. I did a lot of research on D1 before it came out, and was super excited about it and wanted to get into streaming, get a streaming setup ready to go for when it came out. And I was streaming Halo 4 for a little bit. And I streamed Destiny when it came out. I streamed it for the first 24 hours and then kept going, and every time I played it, kept streaming, and haven't really stopped. Every time I play, I stream, and I play the game all the time, so I stream all the time, and it just kind of worked out where now I'm supporting myself off of it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's awesome. Worked out like that.
Would you say that the introduction of Trials of Osiris was a big part of that at the beginning of
game changer? Absolute game changer to my channel for sure, definitely. Because I remember where it was before Trials came out, and it wasn't super great. For sure. Right. It was at 500 followers. I have a couple people show up, and it was very chill,
I was wondering for you what it was like pre-trials, not streaming wise, but game wise, maybe both, combined, because that was a big thing that people started streaming. Did you stream PvP stuff? Because you said you were streaming Destiny. Was it strictly PvP, or did you?
Yeah, it was PvP. Yeah.
Okay.
I streamed PvP before then. Always.
Nice.
Didn't really stream any PvE. I used to stream a lot of Rumble.
Dude.
And then I met another streamer, a partner streamer, named Fizzer. I met him, and we
Nice.
started playing a lot. And then he kind of showed me the ropes of Twitch, and I kind of just, I don't know. We played every day, and we just kind of like ended up meeting all these people, all these players, and all sorts of people that play Destiny, and we ended up making movie of the week with our montages, and
Yeah.
Nice.
that was really big for us. And
That's a name I hadn't heard in a long time. Was Fizzer.
Yeah, Fizzer.
Fizzer, yeah, Inferno,
Mm.
Fizzer.
Yeah.
So now with your channel and stuff, like I said, you've been doing some charity streams, doing Iron Banner.
Yeah, I've been doing charity. I've been diving into charity. I never really did any charity streams until this year. I started in June or July with Joey. We raised like $7,500 for St. Jude's for
Nice.
recovs
Feels
last
good,
season.
man.
Yep.
Feels
And
good.
now the Bungie event that they're hosting right now, me and my girlfriend have a team for that, which we raised $500 for. But that goes to my local children's hospital, which is really cool.
That's
That
very
is
cool.
really
I'm happy
cool.
about that.
Local
Yeah.
always makes you feel really good too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We've talked a lot about your stream. To our audio listeners, real quick, shout out your Twitch, man. Where can they find you to get comp help or a really chill experience while also like high octane PvP?
Twitch.tv/rhythm. Exactly how it sounds.
Absolutely. Go check them out, guys. Like I said,
Yeah,
him and
for
Joey
real.
are entertainers. They're great people, great community. Definitely get in there.
Yeah, dude. Really appreciate all you're doing for the community, not just with comp help, but also like the community like of the world with all the fundraising and stuff. That's really
Yeah,
cool.
man.
And
I'd
it's
love to do
also
more of
really
that,
cool
personally.
for local. Like that's awesome.
Yeah, the Bungie event that they have set up, they let you choose which hospital you supported with the donations. So
Nice.
I'm from Connecticut, so Connecticut Children's Hospital's getting all the money, which I'm really happy about.
That is really cool. Like,
Especially because my girlfriend's a nurse, and she eventually plans on moving out to Connecticut, and I mean, she might end up even
Wow.
working there. So
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
yeah, you hear so many, like, especially since, excuse me, Guardian Con got big. You hear almost every charity thing in the Destiny community benefits St. Jude's, which is fantastic. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
But it's really cool. Like, I just kind of assumed when you said that, like, oh, you know, St. Jude's. And then you were like, oh, you know, we raised this much for our local children's hospital. Like, you don't hear that often, and that is
No,
really
you
cool. Like I
don't,
said,
yeah.
nothing bad about St. Jude's at all. I don't mean to
Yeah.
take anything
Mhm.
away from what people do for them. It's just kind of refreshing to hear someone kind of go, hey, you know what? I have another place that I want to help out. You know?
Yeah, for
So,
sure, definitely. Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, for those who don't know you too, talk a little bit about your play style. You know, we kind of griped on a few different play styles at the beginning of the podcast, but for you, like what's like your main class, your main weapon, stuff that you love using? Like some of us already know, but just for those of us who don't.
I'm always playing Warlock, pretty much. Bottom Tree Dawnblade is what I run right now.
Mm-hmm.
Warlock
I do have
Surfer.
one of each character though. But yeah, Warlock Surfer. Yep, I know how to. I like moving really quick on the
Yeah.
Warlock. That's what I really like.
What kind of
the
stats
movement.
do you go for on a warlock for like being real mobile like that? Is it all
I
mobility? or
want
do you...
low mobility,
Okay,
but I find it hard to find low mobility gear. I don't know
Mhm.
why, but
I feel
I'm
the
running
same
like
way.
tier 7 mobility, but I want 0.
Yeah, it's all
So-
about that recov, right? Like that's
I like
what-
recovery, yep, and then intellect for
Yeah.
my Warlock.
Nice.
Because you get that Dawn Blade, dude, it don't matter what your mobility is, dude. You
Yeah,
are
yeah,
going to
exactly.
defy the laws of gravity flying across the sky. It's amazing. Dude, that's my biggest and that's the thing too. You make that subclass look so accessible and fun and easy, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna put on Dawnblade. I'm gonna try it, dude. I'm gonna get away from the Nova. I'm gonna try it, and as soon as I pop my super, I just fly off the fucking map, dude. Like I'm fucking gone, dude. Like, see y'all later, man. I forgot something at the tower. I'm out.
Yo,
Peace.
go
Bro,
on,
a lot of my movement, I owe a lot of my movement to this game called Marble Blast Ultra. It was like an Xbox One, Xbox
shit.
original arcade
Okay.
game. It was this marble. It was a speedrunning game where you would on a marble and you just run through these maps as fast as you could, and you have to time your jumps and everything. So Me and my
Dang,
buddies,
that's really interesting.
me and my buddies nerded out in that game and tried, like, we set the leaderboards and we just stay up all night playing that game. So like I'm really keen to like learning the fastest routes possible in every map to get from this place to this place. So I think it's mostly because of that game, the experience I have of that game.
That's cool, man, that you can correlate it directly to something from a completely different generation and a completely different like game. That's awesome. What is your armor exotic of choice for the Warlock?
Transverse steps, because it gives you the increased movement speed.
And doesn't it also reload your guns?
It reloads your guns too. Yep, definitely. But if you
That's
didn't have
actually
that perk,
so,
I'd still use it.
You can't laugh at that.
The slide distance is really good.
Yeah, you can't laugh at the reload, man. Like the amount, like, dude, there's been so many instances.
I use that all the time.
There's been so many instances that I'm like, dude, if I didn't have to reload right there because I needed to, I would have made it just in time to get there to keep him off heavy ammo.
I used to just sprint into a wall to reload my ward cliff because it was faster to sprint than it was to actually reload it.
That's awesome.
A lot of guns, it's quicker to actually reload it, but the ward cliff was like rockets are quicker to just sprint.
And maybe you can trick your opponent into thinking that you're lagging out of the game and then turn around and kill him.
Just blast him in the face with a rocket.
Hove, are you still like? Would you classify yourself as a Warlock main?
I kind of go back and forth between Hunter and Warlock. I would say.
I know.
Who are you? I would say, to be fair, the more I've thought about this, because I've never really had an answer, I'd say over the years, talking back to Destiny, like Destiny 1 on, I've probably enjoyed Warlock the most. But as we've said, like, Hunters have always been so strong that I also do enjoy playing a Hunter because they're really good. But
they're fun.
Yeah.
Really fun. I
would still say my absolute favorite was still, I don't remember which year it was in D1, but when Voidwalkers had the nothing manacles that got buffed, and Nova Bomb was good, and Life Drain, like all that stuff. That was my favorite subclass to run probably in all of Destiny so far. I had so much fun with that. So I would probably have to lean Warlock at this point.
Yeah, I think of you as a Warlock, so I was just wondering.
We in real life?
Yeah, no.
We talk about like overpowered, like, you know, arc battery and like thunder coil and OEM and stuff like that. The only class that makes sense of getting their health back in Destiny to me is the Warlock. You know, with like Devour and stuff like that. Like, it makes sense. You got to make a couple sacrifices to do so. Like, you know, and like to keep it chaining, you got to get kills and stuff like that. Like, if they just get rid of all this like health and armor, freaking exotics, like, I feel like it'd be in a much faster pace.
Yeah, anytime there's a health exotic, it gets used just because of that's just intrinsically the best option in PvP is being able to heal.
You know, there was a lot of talk about that recently with like weapons split between PvE and PvP, and like how when something gets, because a lot of those things are really useful for PvE things that give you health back. Like, for instance, this one isn't used much in PvP right now, but it's better than it used to be, is Crimson. And man, that thing saved my neck in the pit, because there's the second encounter of the pit. You have to like, there's so many things shooting at you when you're trying to solo it, and it's just relentless ads coming at you. And I had, just to stay alive, I threw on every region thing that I could. I was like, high recovery, I'm going to run the Sentinel subclass that heals me when I throw a grenade and it kills somebody. I'm going to use what's the gun I was just saying, like Crimson that will heal me whenever I kill something. I'm going to run One-Eyed Mass so I get an overshield when I kill something. Like, I'm going to do everything I can to stay alive, because it was so hard. But if they nerf, like, because I was thinking about the One-Eyed Mass nerf, I was like, man, that sucks for that particular encounter to not have that for me as a Titan. But it's like, you know, I get it. I'm just wondering, with all of those things, with the, y'all are saying that it's bad to have those things for PvP potentially, you know, and so like, why don't they just, because some guns they say win against enemies of darkness or whatever, like why not just apply that to a lot of these exotics? So
we've been saying that for years on perks though, and
it is that way on some perks. So I don't know why they just don't do that instead of completely nerfing it sometimes, you know.
For sure. Faux show.
Didn't Crimson get a fairly big buff recently too, though? Remember when they did a
It-
bunch of damage? Didn't it get like a pretty heavy damage increase?
It got a little bit better, but then the hand can what really sealed it was this recent hand cannon range nerf. It can only go up. Hand cannon's range only matters to an extent, other than like rangefinder perks, the second two perks, those matter still. But as far as base stats, range doesn't matter as much as it did before. But Crimson breaks it for some reason, I think, and that's why it's really good right now. I think I could be wrong if one of y'all know more.
Guns just got an identity issue. That's all.
Yeah.
Pulse rifle hand cannon. Is it gonna get? Did it get buffed because of the buff to certain pulse rifles, and then did it get nerfed because of the nerf to hand cannon?
But I swear it got a straight damage increase within the last couple months.
I think you're right. A while ago, yeah. I don't think it was recent.
I mean, it was this year.
Maybe. That's what I mean. Yeah.
2019 Lego.
Yeah.
I forgot it's
It's
November.
only November.
Yeah, I was just saying, I forgot it's November.
It's only November, dude.
Wait,
Oh,
September
man.
13th. There's an article. Yeah, it happened in October. It was only a month ago.
Okay.
Couple
Okay.
months ago.
Semi-relevant.
It's semi-relevant. Yeah. Rhythm, do you enjoy PvE activities too in Destiny, or are you
Yeah,
like
yeah,
just
I do.
playing that to
Play
get to the
PvE.
PvP?
My clan is pretty much a PvE clan. We raid every week, and we did Crown on day one, and we did this Garden on day one as well. We didn't
Nice.
beat them, but we played them, and
What
we
do you
beat them
think-
obviously now.
What do you think of all that Shadowkeep content this season?
I really like it. I've had a lot of fun. I did the new dungeon.
Mhm.
That was a lot of fun. We did a blind. Took us like 2.5 hours, 3 hours.
Nice.
That was fun. And then the raid. I always have a ton of fun in the raid. I got my divinity.
Oh,
Had
nice.
fun doing that. It's just it's a good time. I've been playing it what I used to do is just I would stream PvP D2 during the day, and then I'd play other games during the night for fun. And now I've just been playing D2 all the time.
Right?
I play PvE at night now.
That's something Hove was getting on to me about because we weren't playing much PUBG, and
Uh-huh.
because I just have so much fun playing Destiny, and there's so many PvE things to do. That's something I kind of wanted to bring up.
Yeah,
this week.
yeah, exactly.
Was
There's so
that-
much stuff I wanted to do.
Yeah, I'm always like, well, I do want this one class on it. Like, I have several different like mods that I'm going for because the Taken and Hive armament mods you can get for Armor 2.0 from certain things. There's reasons to do Menagerie again. There's I even like one, I think I talked about it last week, but one thing I've been doing is I still do my escalation protocol every week because I'm trying to get the Titan mark a 2.0 because it has no stats, but I could put 2.0 mods on it and I really like the way it looks. So it's just like these small things. It's like there's always something to do or something to solo or some new
I have a
piece
ton of things I can think of that I could do right now. I could spend hours and hours grinding, like maybe 6 things I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, what are some of the things you're going for right now?
Well, that mobility gear. I want to grind for 0 mobility gear. That's one thing. And then I want the Love and Death, the grenade launcher, because it has full court with spike nades and field prep.
God,
I want that.
I got that, by the way.
And,
you got it? Nice.
I got it.
got-
Yeah.
Really? All 3? You got field prep with it?
Yeah, I got another one too that has
I
instead of field prep, it has rangefinder on it.
Okay.
that's good.
Which I think that equates to velocity.
Velocity.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's cool.
it does. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, so
Huh.
it gets the farther you are away, the faster it gets there. It's great. Like it's fun to use. It definitely has like a recoil pattern and like feel unlike any other grenade launcher, dude. So it takes some getting used to. But yeah, it's my baby right now.
It's got some damage on it.
It's gnarly.
And then
On.
I'm grinding that auto as well with the break disruption break. Have you
Oh
heard
yeah,
about that?
yeah. For the
Grinding that as
for
well.
the champions.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah, for
Yeah.
the champions, for the Nightfalls and raid.
I've been doing the anarchy barrier cheese on champions. So if you have anarchy, you
Nope,
can just
I don't have that.
you can
no.
just just throw down 2, start electrocuting them, and
Aw.
switch over to a gun
my
with
friend-
barrier
my friend
rounds.
was
and
doing that
it's
to him.
fucking nasty, dude. It's so
That's
much fun.
gross.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna abuse the shit out of everything till they nerf it, dude. Like I haven't touched my Titan since they nerfed 1-2 punch Peregrine. Like it just feels like returning to the scene of the crime. Like I can't.
Also,
Oh,
Titans are
listen.
lame.
I gotta add to your Love and Death grenade. I got the rangefinder full court one. That's what I have.
Yeah,
Volatile launch, rangefinder, full court. Dude, it feels feels really good.
Does it got the spike nades on?
Yeah, it has spike nades on.
No, it doesn't have spike nades.
Bummer.
I know.
That's probably the most important thing.
Yeah,
For that extra damage. But like, I mean, like you guys said, it's something to grind for. Like my biggest thing, dude, is just getting 2 pages worth of bounties, doing all of them, and then the ASMR of turning them all in.
How do you get 2 pages of bounties?
You get your Crucible bounties, you get your Vanguard bounties, you get your Gunsmith bounties, you get your Civic bounties from the Drifter, the ones that actually don't require you to go.
Can I get 2 pages of Crucible bounties, or is there? Because it seems like there's a limit to how many Crucible bounties I can get.
It's not necessarily just bounties; it's how many quests and bounties.
Yeah,
and I think it's like 42 or something like that you can hold.
But they can't all be Crucible, right?
Yeah, because I picked up a bunch of additional Crucibles, and it said I was full, but then it let me pick up a Gunsmith bounties.
You can get your 2 weeklies, your 4 or 5 dailies with an additional like 5 bounties on top of that. So you get your Vanguard, Crucible, your Gambit, your planetary ones, your Gunsmith bounties, your Spider bounties. Let's see, what else am I? Oh, your Vex offensive bounties, and like you're almost full at that point. Like you're pretty full up on like I have it to where I can't get all the bounties that I'd like to get. You know what I mean?
What rank are you right now, Wilson?
185, 195, I think.
Jeez,
something like that.
Man.
My artifact is almost at plus 20 right now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's not bad.
What are you at right now, Rhythm?
963. Well, the Pinnacles just came out today. I haven't turned in my bounties, I don't think.
Right.
I was 962 before the Pinnacle update. I'll probably be like 963 or 4 today.
Nice. That's right where I'm
fast.
at too.
My gear's 951, I think.
Same, yeah.
So I'm like plus 12.
Well, Wilson, I have a big question for you.
Oh God.
I just was curious how those chocolate-covered strawberries are treating you.
They're freaking amazing. How do you know?
Strawberries?
How do you know? My webcam's not even.
Picture?
It's not even working.
Oh, it was like a stink bug plant.
You can just tell.
Got a camera in Wilson's room.
No, not even that, dude. It's like a spidey sense. He's just like, dude, someone's got some chocolate covered strawberries, or somebody's got some fluffy ass pancakes. Like he just knows.
Sam sent me a picture of him when she was making them.
She came in when I was doing Iron Banner before the podcast, and she's like, "You're not allowed in the kitchen for like 10-15 minutes," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, well, because Wilson, for anyone who doesn't know, Sam always brings him a snack in the middle of the podcast, and we all get jealous and upset. And this time, she happened to tell me what it was ahead of time, and his camera wasn't working. 2 separate things, so I thought that was a perfect time to just be like, "Oh, how's your snack, Wilson? I know what it is."
It was pretty good, dude. I maxed it out pretty hard. I just thought you were gonna grill me about something right there. That's why I was like,
"What?
God.
What would you? Is there something you are not wanting to
grilling about?"
Yeah.
Were you saying have a guilty conscience?
That's kind of what it sounded like. Yeah.
I sound like a person who had like made mistakes in the past, man. No way, dude. No way. I'm kick ass.
Oh man. Well, we were speaking about that light level and all that. We should probably go ahead and mention the thing that happened this week in the community.
Yeah.
I guess was it 2 nights ago? I guess we had our community member Bagel 4K, not ours, but like the Destiny community. Bagel 4K reached 999. Which was in the lore, in the Truth to Power lore. It said if you beat, I'm gonna butcher the specifics of it, but basically, you beat Shattered Throne solo at 999, you'll break the curse, or there will be like the final iteration of whatever the curse
is. The 15th wish is what they thought it was gonna do. Like
people thought it was gonna be the 15th wish, all this stuff. And so, what was really cool about it to me, and Wilson, I think you were talking about this too, is that it wasn't just like a top name streamer that this happened to. It was everybody was following one guy who got close, and then everybody found out this big old 4K guy actually had it, and then Glad and somebody else, like everybody kind of made a pact to, instead of using his account, was going to like basically host him Bagel 4K streaming it and walk him through Shattered Throne because he had never done it before and he had to beat it solo. And so 25,000 people are watching this guy at like 1 a.m.
Is that how many it
do
was?
this encounter.
Dude,
Yeah,
it was
25,000
of people, dude.
Dude,
It was crazy. The community came together for something and coached him through it. And like, I guess like we'll just go ahead and say it. Nothing happened when they did beat it. But I don't think that's like
entirely
what's the beauty
true?
of the whole thing, dude. Like, well, of course, Savathun's a conniving bitch, dude. Like, who'd have thought? Who'd have thought, dude?
That was the first thing I thought of.
Shocker. She lied. Wow. The master of deception was deceiving. But the cool thing was that it got the community buzzing. It made people work hard. Like, you know, I'm out here going, oh, I work hard to grind my light. Just goes to show you that there's always somebody out there that's grinding harder than you. Like, it's undiscovered.
Like Mindy.
Like Mindy. We're told not to bring her up, by the way.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
it's been this whole time.
Yeah.
I believe.
Unbelievable. It's right. Unbelievable.
I know.
But
all those
the
cold
fact that, like
swords
you were
and
saying, Lego, that like Glad came in and coached him through it, and he had never soloed it before, and it was a it sounds cheesy, but it was a coming together of the community, unlike I don't think we've ever seen yet. Like,
dude, and not only that, but this guy literally became legend and is now officially a part of the lore of the game, because then Bungie goes the way that they will do their like comic book, you know, kind of posts where it's like, or they'll release lore pieces on VNet. You know, they released a someone became legend post, and Dylan's name's in there, DMG, and all this stuff too. But in between the lines is messages from Savathun to Bagel, which is
intense.
Great.
Yeah,
like, dude, that's insane. And it made me like want to tell people who like don't even play Destiny, like, dude, this thing happened in the game where all these people were watching and there was like a piece of the lore. It was basically like in a movie, you know, when you have there's like someone's destiny, there's a prophecy, and if this happens, this is what's gonna happen.
Right.
And you know, you want to tell people that something actually did happen.
That happened to us. Yeah, that's so cool.
It's crazy, man.
The only other game that I can think of that does stuff like that or done stuff like that is World of Warcraft, and that's a 15-year-old game. You know, there's things that players have done.
Yeah, I play WoW Classic. I love that game.
Yeah, there's things that players have done that have earned like their actual like old player name. Like there was a guy that freaked out over like a blue rarity belt, and he was like 4 strength 4 leather, or 4 strength 4 stamina, and he was like, oh my god, and it became a meme, and they named that belt after him in game because this dude was like basically having like a Craigasm moment over this like piece of gear. And then like everyone's heard of like Leroy Jenkins, you know what I mean? Like, so like he's got a piece of gear in the game. Like there was a paladin that figured out how to stack a buff like 15 times and then go into PvP and just like one-shot people. And they named shit after him. Like, it's a gag, dude. Like, it's the only other game that I can think of that does stuff like this. And the more I watch people like Estefan and Asmongold play WoW Classic, the more I really start to see where Destiny and the devs have pulled a lot of inspiration from. Like, a lot. Yeah. Like, it's crazy.
Rhythm, you seem pretty hyped about it all too, being a WoW Classic player and seeing this kind of thing come.
I love that it's headed in that direction, dude. Because I played WoW the first couple years that it came out, and that was it. I played the first like 3 years with my friend, and then didn't really play it until WoW Classic came out. And me and my buddy always talked about the aspects of that game, that like the social aspects that they had, kind of like what Wilson was talking about, how like the players are such a huge part of the game. That aspect was just such a huge thing that we've never seen in a game before, and I've never seen it in another game before. And now Destiny is bringing aspects of that into the game that I play, and it makes me really happy to see that.
Yeah.
So you play a lot of Classic, Rhythm?
I'm only level 26. I haven't played.
Let me take a guess here. Let me take a guess. Horde?
Nope, I'm Alliance.
Thank God. I thought because you're like a big PvP player, everybody that's PvP in any game always goes Horde. Thank God
no, I'm just
Alliance.
PvE.
Are you a Warlock?
Nope, I'm a Paladin.
Paladin.
Human Paladin.
Are you gonna go like Ret or Holy or?
I'm holy paladin.
Nice, a healer, dude.
I don't
I'm
know
a
what any
healer.
of this
My
means.
girlfriend's the tank, though.
I don't either,
Okay.
but it sounds
Fraught
righteous.
warrior.
I'm sorry. Yeah, right. We can get off the world. I just had to ask him real
Oh,
quick.
I-
I just want to make sure he wasn't horrid.
No,
Thank
it's
God.
cool. Dude, no, I'm with
I love
Rhythm
that game.
whenever he was saying like he's never seen another game like do something like this until now. When Luke Smith said, a little while ago, that big split from Activision that they did, they had that whole like we're gonna lean into the RPG elements. Like this is not what I was thinking of, but and there's other stuff too, but I'm so glad this is a part of that because the whole Last Wish and the Raiders, the first raid team starting that cycle, that was like the beginning. And then to have this happen, who knows where Destiny could go from here with its interaction with its community.
Absolutely. I'm loving the direction of like it's telling a story and not like trying to like tell 10 different stories that have no continuity and have nothing to do with each other. And like it's really cool. It's starting to feel like that World of Warcraft living, breathing world, like slowly by surely. And this is just supposed to be like the starting point of what's changing. And like, so this is supposed to be getting better and better with each, season.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled, dude.
Right.
I'm really excited. Yeah, definitely. I haven't really played classics since Shadowkeep came out. I'll say that.
It's tough.
I haven't played too much.
Not enough time, man. We need
Been playing a lot
48-hour
of
days.
I
I
will.
don't need to like that. The part of me that wants to play that is like fulfilled in Destiny now. I've been playing the Nightfalls and the dungeon and the raid and that because I like
that's
just
big.
doing dungeons and WoW, and now it kind of feels like that when I'm playing Destiny.
It's a big compliment to Destiny, man.
Wilson,
I was looking at. Sorry. Go ahead. Hope.
I was just say I have a better snack than you.
Oh boy, what'd you get?
Moonshine pickles.
Moonshine pickles.
It actually
Okay,
sounds pretty good.
I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt here. What is a moonshine pickle here, and what makes it so delicious?
It's a pickle soaked in moonshine.
Okay, but like what? How's that taste different from a regular pickle? Why wouldn't you just go after like a Clausen? Like a
Because Clausens are not alcoholic.
Fair enough.
Literally,
enough,
it's a
dude. I have
big
such a
jar of pickles soaked in moonshine.
I don't know. I'll go with the chocolate covered strawberries.
Do
man.
you like dill pickles?
Yeah, I like a good good Clausen. Keep that bread and butter pickle shit away from me though, dude. Those are awful.
I wouldn't say they're awful, but I mean,
they're
I'm with you on
atrocious.
that. You're atrocious. Watch your mouth.
Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know. They're new. I had them at the whiskey festival last week, and they're delicious. So I bought a bottle.
Oh yeah. You gonna drink it afterwards?
Fuck yeah. Can you see that? Hold on.
I can.
Yeah, a little
Old
smoky.
smoky. Hey, I like that.
Uh,
Took you a second there, Chief. Wow.
well, I think it's a good time for us to, there's not much of a TWAB. I guess we could mention two things here before we jump into the community questions.
Well, you didn't talk about the garter toss you did this week. I wanted to hear about that.
I did no such thing.
Yeah, the garter, when you took the garter off and tossed it to your girlfriends.
Wow. I edited some garter toss as a wedding videographer that I am. That'd be weird though if I did it myself.
Would it?
It's 2019. Nothing's weird.
Yeah. But there was speaking of old timey, there was a lot of art in the TWAB this week or maybe it wasn't even TWAB. I'm not sure if I saw it in there, but Bungie definitely retweeted. There was another contest for if you could get the emblem for best dressed, basically, and they went Halloween themed. There wasn't any. I was expecting to see Mark Square up there with some impressionism art, that he does, something like that. But just saw more so some spooky stuff, which they were going for, so it makes sense. But I like some of the screenshots that BNet, or I guess Bungie account retweeted, and it looked pretty cool. But also in the TWAB, one really important thing was they they're talking about fixing the Izanagi's quest that keeps being broken over and over again, which is one of the best guns in the game. So it's
we just give that gun to everyone who doesn't have it.
I know, right?
Like,
it feels
seriously,
like that
dude.
should just happen.
Yeah, can I have it?
Imagine doing the quest, it being bugged, them fixing it, restarting the quest only to find that it's bugged again and you're going to have to restart the quest. Like, dude, just give it to the people who don't have it. Like, the quest isn't even that good. It's nothing to really even be like that proud about, honestly.
Yeah, what sucks is this hotfix went live today that fixed the issue with the Obsidian Crystal would not give quest progression, but players will need to reacquire the Black Armory rare bounty to obtain it, which is the hardest part of the quest, is getting that bounty to drop. So that's rough. Apologies to anybody who had that problem. I really hope Paris, who was on the cast the other day.
I was just thinking that.
I think he got it. I didn't think he had the bug. The second bug happened, but that would. I know he was waiting for that rare one to drop, and that would have sucked if it didn't work out and he used it.
Generally, as long as you use protection, you don't get the bugs.
As he bites. Yeah, I know.
It was so passive aggressive the way he just bit into that. Like,
if you're an audio listener, be glad you didn't have to witness.
Yeah, it was very pompous.
So yeah, let's do some community questions. I'll start off real quick with a community question for Wilson, my own community question. You said you started using mouse and keyboard. Are you like, do you feel I want to ask you what level you feel like you're at, because you felt like you were getting better. Are you like at the Wilson console level? Are you at like Creed Bratton level? Or are you at like Oompa Loompa level? Like where are you at with your mouse and keyboard skills?
I'm always Oompa Loompa level. You know, just depends on how many bong rips you do before the match. But like it, honestly,
what you're saying though is the more bong rips, the better you do, right?
I would say it's a performance enhancer for sure. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Is that legal?
Like
in the rule.
In a month it will be.
I didn't mean. Never mind. Forget it. I'm just gonna eat my pickles.
Wilson, you would say that's a cause, not necessarily just a correlation, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Make sure you devolve on this while Hove is eating.
My mouse and keyboard self would absolutely destroy and shit on my old controller self. 100%.
Really?
Tenfold over.
1v1 me.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I'll even just use 3 snipers.
I want Stadia to come out so that way I can actually like face, some people that are playing PC.
It's great,
but you
man.
can't,
it'll be fun
because there's no crossplay.
Yeah, but they could play Stadia because it's free, I guess, at the end of this year.
Oh yeah. So. Well, no, next year sometime. They haven't given it.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Actually, Stadia comes out in 12 days.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That quick?
I'll have it at my house.
You also let me know how it is and if it's worth playing.
It is.
Maybe Hove will finally upload something to his YouTube. Maybe like an unboxing.
Ooh,
yeah.
Unboxing video. That would be.
Dude, those are
amazing.
hot now. They got to be at least 10 minutes long.
Since
or you
when?
Won't get ad revenue.
Unboxing
Why do you
video.
have to
It's
get
just him coming out of the box?
Why do you have to? I'm not a YouTuber. Why? That was always a Mana joke. Why'd you have to throw that at me?
Oh, because he's not here right now.
Video, yeah. So unboxing video, 10 minutes. Minimum.
Yeah, if you guys want an unboxing video, make sure you tweet at Hove76 on Twitter. Hashtag unbox that.
Unbox that. I mean,
let's do some community questions.
Okay.
So professional. Okay, that's usually me.
I only told him about 15 minutes ago. He was distracted by the pickle or the moonshine, one or the other.
On Twitter, Jeffrey Alton wants to know, for Rhythm, what's your favorite gun that isn't not forgotten? LOL,
Thorn.
He said.
Yes.
Thorn Matador. Or not Matador, oh no. Thorn Mindbenders.
Thorn Mindbenders, dude. That's what I've been using when I don't
play the game. I like play the game.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
On console too.
On console, it's fun. Yeah, it's fun.
You gotta
because it can hit one hits if you hit them, but it's like tough to aim and place the grenades, so it's fun.
Hey, did you get the new bow?
I don't think I finished the quest. I went to the secret workshop. I did that part. That's where I'm at in the quest.
Yeah, okay. Lego told me that I didn't really have to do anything, just go down there. So I was like, oh, I'll go down there. And then it was like, go play Gambit. And I was like, no, fuck you.
Yep.
And
yeah.
Just do 3 Nightfalls at any level.
Oh, yeah, you could do Nightfalls.
Yeah,
too.
You don't have to do Gambit.
Whatever.
Nobody wants to do that.
I was wondering, though, if you like the bow or not. Because I think it's fun. Like, it's an alternative for power weapon.
I haven't used it. I'll have to get it and try it. Yeah, probably.
one-shotting supers to the body feels good.
Yeah.
Should
I
feel
bet,
bad.
yeah.
That should feel
No.
bad.
It feels bad for them. I feel
Yeah.
good.
You should
exactly.
feel
Just-
like a bad person.
No,
man, you do bad things with friends, man. That's the fun of it. Yeah. Sometimes I like to do bad things with friends.
Lego, you want to do some bad things with me?
no,
Oh,
no.
jeez.
All right, next question. This one's for everybody. Bagu asks, in higher difficulty activities like raids and comp, what are some things you guys do to keep a level head and not get frustrated? Which I was gonna throw in earlier because we were talking about, how Rhythm's able to stay really, really calm through stuff. My easy answer is I just don't give a shit. So it's really hard to get angry when I don't care.
I haven't done either in so long. I don't know. Probably. I mean, I don't know if I would. I'd be very excited to do one, but probably wouldn't care very much.
How do you
Would you
get?
consider parenting a high-level activity? What would your skill be to stay calm in that scenario?
Make them
For
play
Parents?
his Destiny account.
Yeah.
Hey, that was
You
only
have-
when it was an incentive. I think they did grind out finally loaded questions for me finally. So-
Nice, dude. You got a C-? Take your ass to Gambit. Farm out that SMG right now.
Give me that bow.
Yeah, give me that hush. That's an easy answer for me, dude. Weed, big time. I mean,
That's a good answer.
yeah, very calming.
It's also
Legit.
Lego's answer.
Yeah, right.
Lego
My
is also a
answer-
big fan of. He likes to do PCP while doing PvP.
Oh my god,
Jeez, man.
that's the opposite. That's freaking out, man. That's like.
My answer is
Bullshit.
I'm pretty sure it's competitive. Like, this sounds weird because I feel like being more competitive sometimes makes you more frustrated. But I think being competitive for me, I feel like I get that positive competitiveness that we were talking about earlier. Like when you're down and you're like, we could still do this, like when you get that. I feel like that's where I'm at most of the time. It's not a frustration of like, man, we're losing. Like, even if I might verbally say that, I'll quickly jump back to like, I might do this. Like, there's a possibility. Like, how do I read this opponent? It's more like strategic. It's not just like some sort of like hope that we could win. It's more like the challenge pushes me to stay calm and be positive. The challenge of learning what is he doing that's making that person successful, and how do I like counter it? I think it's like instead of just being frustrated by something, it's more like the calm, like, well, let me analyze this for a second.
You're playing chess while other people are playing
Yeah.
checkers. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Just so you know, there's already a request to have this week's Twitter clip be us talking about you doing PCP.
That's the
Noted.
highlight of the podcast is talking about Lego doing PCP.
Lego
Lego-
doing PCP.
like-
I'm pretty sure that would get us banned.
Lego
or
likes a little
something.
angel dust here and there, all right? Let him go.
Next question, Hove.
Well, no, Rhythm. What's your answer
Yeah.
for staying calm?
Well, I think it's almost impossible to prevent yourself from getting frustrated sometimes.
Mm.
Like you're gonna get
Mhm.
frustrated no matter what. But
Yeah.
as soon as you recognize that you're getting frustrated, the thing is that I've played enough that I know that any frustration that I put out is gonna make it harder for my team. And like you were saying, it's a strategic thing. It's not that I just I know that we'll be better off if I just hold it in and like take a deep breath and it's just a death and move on. It's just one death. There's so many deaths. I've died hundreds of times today in the stream. Like just it's one more. Not gonna worry about it 2 days from now.
You really got to
Just move
live
on.
in the present with your current life in competitive right now. You can't be hung up on your last death. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah. As soon as that death's over, you have to remember it and then move on, and then but like remember enough where you can go back after the game's over and analyze it, or like when you get a chance to analyze it. But just put yourself right into the next life. You need to put all your energy into the next life immediately.
So
Dude.
next time, that's a good tip. Next time you get upset, which it's gonna happen because we're all only human.
Exactly. Yeah.
Think
Can't
of the
remember.
greater good. Think of your team.
Well, I do
Yeah.
think
Bring
it's
your team. Yeah.
I do think one thing that's important that you mentioned in that people don't. A lot of people you'll hear say, not just in Destiny, but anything when you're frustrated, like, oh, just forget it and move on. But it's very important to not forget it. You know, whether it's like you said, rhythm, like next
exactly.
game, or even just
Don't
like,
forget it.
hey, don't walk around that same fucking corner at eye level that guy's sniping. Like, remember what happened, but just learn from it instead of getting pissed about it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Dude,
no
Rhythm,
longer.
now that you've said that, I want like an in-game NPC to give me that dialogue. It sounds like Zavala, give me some sort of speech that's like, I've died 1,000,000 times. What's one more? You know, or something like that. Like, I feel like I could see him giving that.
I'm actually kind of surprised that nobody says that.
I know, because it's a part of the game.
It's a part of the. It's literally a part of the game. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm done.
You're done with your pickle, or like you're done with community questions?
Both. That was my last pickle. I have another. I have a whole jar downstairs, but I only took 3.
Oh man. Well, Rhythm, thank you so much, man, for joining us this week. We really appreciate you being on the show. Where can I know you said your Twitch earlier, but where all can people find you on the interwebs?
Twitter at Rhythm on Twitch, one word, and then twitch.tv/rhythm. And
MySpace.
that's about it.
What's your stream schedule normally like? Like what times do you like to do?
About 2 p.m. ET, and I go until about 8 or 9. Yep.
Well, y'all go check it out, man. His
Please.
streams are great. His helps are great, and his attitude is even more awesome. And like, go like learn. So if you're struggling with comp and you like even can't jump into a game with Rhythm, like just watch him for a little bit, like see how he plays. You know, like I feel like I've learned a lot. And even when you're giving out tips for like, look at this spot right here that I can, you know, these people aren't looking at me from, stuff like that. You know, it just there's so many things you can learn from watching Rhythm stream. So definitely go check it out. I've been Lego, aka Legoli Flash. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube at Lego LE Flash. Hove, where can they find you?
Twitter at Hove76, pretty much talking a bunch of nonsense. Twitch, usually only Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern when we're live here for this podcast, but that's twitch.tv/Hove76. Although I will say, I think it's out already. I have to get one. Sega came out with like a Genesis, I don't know what they call it, but like a Genesis Classic, like NES and SNES. I might get one of those and maybe set that up and stream. Maybe I'll stream some Echo the Dolphin since we've talked about that on here so many times.
Good luck beating that shit.
I know, right?
Yeah, no shit.
Dude,
know
Game Boy just came out with one too. I really want to get that one.
The game list for the Genesis one is like, it's my childhood in a box. Like, I'm really excited about that. But anyway, yeah, maybe I'll do that. Probably not, but maybe. Wilson.
Okay.
You can find me on Twitter, Ryu Wilson. That's RYU Wilson. And just wanted to take the time to say thanks again for Rhythm to coming on the show. Yeah. And Lego, I can't stress it enough. Definitely get into that Twitch and learn you some PvP comp skills.
Yeah.
And enter a raffle, dude, because
enter a raffle, definitely. No matter, for sure.
Yeah.
Do it.
He's very patient. He's very good at teaching people, and you'd be surprised how many people go into those raffles and are impressed with what they are capable of themselves after doing it. So, Triton, what about you, bud?
Yeah, you can mainly find me on Twitch. Or no, not on Twitch at all, actually. Unless I'm here talking about everyone else on Twitch.
No, wait a minute. That's not me. That's Hove.
Hold on a second. Don't go to Twitch. But you can find me mainly on Twitter, Triton Please, all one word, the please being PLZ. And I will kind of shout it back to Hove here. If you want to talk to Hove about the other kind of PCP, that being your primary care physician, because we all know how much he loves when we talk about all those things related to healthcare.
Wow.
Reach back out to Hove on those issues. I know Lego did a shout out earlier on the podcast, but I just want to do a shout out at. So that's like the opposite. Like, I just want to say,
what the fuck are you saying?
A shout in?
Look, a shout at. Okay, Domino's, do better. I mean that.
Where can they find Domino's at? What's their Twitter?
Well, apparently they can't find them within like a 5-mile radius of my house. Like that's like the definite delivery zone. But apparently they don't consider that.
We gotta get to the bottom of that. Oh, also hashtag open that box.
Yes.
For Hove.
No wait, that wasn't it. Something. What was the hashtag? It was
hashtag
really...
open that.
Open
that. Unbox that.
Unbox
that.
That's
Yeah. Hashtag unbox that at Hope76 on Twitter, please.
Don't do that.
You can also find ResoCast at ResoCast on Twitter. You can find more about Team Resolute at Team Resolute on Twitter. which is the clan that kind of this podcast came from, talking about Destiny. And that's it for episode 158, not 157 that I said earlier. And until next time, GG.
Peace.
GG.
Bye.